we started realizing that it was getting a little too hectic to do at home. And so we started coming back into the office. I had actually started coming to the office by myself. There's a 2,000 square foot office space in a 40,000 square foot building, and I was the only person here for a long, long time, and that's okay. So I didn't worry about social distancing because nobody else was here, but we kept doing what we were doing. And then we found it necessary to get everybody back together again, because you can only do so much through Zoom. You can only do so much without looking at everybody on a constant basis. And so we came in, we separated some of the cubicles that are here to where we were further apart. Some of us having closed offices, and so we kept our doors closed. And when we opened up our doors or we're in the common areas, we were all wearing facial coverings. So on top of that, we knew that people were going to come in because people wanted to make sure that they were filling out the paperwork, or maybe they had some questions about the application process. And so we let them come in, but we had them not only wearing their facial coverings, but even gloves as they came into our space. And then, we took care of them by social distancing. We would put a computer screen on a big screen, and that way they could see what we were doing when we were helping them with their applications. All kinds of really neat ideas and ways of being able to help people without getting real close, and at the same time being able to provide that service. So we've done that, and now since we started noticing in the community there was a surge in cases, and we knew people who were either testing positive or may have been exposed. And so now we're going back to the point of, okay, it's time to slow down a little bit. And so what we've done is half of my staff is now working from home, for a couple of weeks. They'll come back, and then the other half of my staff will go work from home. And that way we're separated even further. So at this point, there's only 3 people on staff in the office. There's 3 people working from home. And we're going to keep that going for a while because we want to make sure that we stay healthy for everybody else. In terms of working from home and working from office and dealing with COVID, you have to be flexible. The thing that I've learned is that, in March and April and May, people were still with their kids in school, but the kids weren't at school. Their kids were now at home. And so we learned that, sometimes we had to spend a couple of hours with the kids while they were doing their Google Classrooms or whatever they were doing, distance learning, and then get back on it. So my schedule and my employee schedules was never an 8 to 5 type of deal. It was an 8 to 10 and then a couple of hours off, and then from 12 to 8 at night or whatever. We're going to do whatever's necessary to do the job. And that's what people have to remember, is that you have to have that flexibility. And if we're going into fall and there's a hybrid type of schedule for school, then as an employer, we have to have that flexibility as well. I've got employees who have kids, and I myself have kids in elementary and middle school, and they can't do all that stuff themselves. And so we have to realize that we got to give our employees that flexibility and give them the right tools so that we can do the job, and just trust that they can do the job, not just on an 8 to 5 type of structure, but whenever it's necessary.